Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, I want to get into actually about two of the documents tonight. One is the arrest warrants and possible, I might dig into the Franks warrants as well, and maybe a little bit of the IGG. Yeah, let me get the right one. Okay, it says, however, is one whether suppression is warranted due to law enforcement failure to knock and announce in executing warrants at the Koberger residence, and two, whether a defendant's post arrest statements is suppressible as fruit of the poisonous tree and or due to Miranda violation. A suppression hearing on the portion of the defendant's motions at issue in this order was held on January 24th, 2025, during which the court received testimony from Detective Corporal Brett Payne and Detective Lawrence Mowry, both from the Moscow Police Department. The court found both detectives to be credible and reliable. Okay, I really don't believe Payne or Mowry is credible and reliable. I really don't. Following argument, the court took the matter under advisement. The court finds suppression is not warranted because one, exigent circumstances excused that abbreviated knock and announce, and two, the defendant has not established a Miranda violation. Well, it was a no knock warrant. Should they have got a knock and announce? Yes, they should have, but they didn't. They got a no knock warrant. The standard review of a motion to suppress is bifurcated. The power to assess the credibility of witnesses, resolve factual conflict, weigh evidence, and draw factual interferences or inferences is vested in the trial court. State versus Valdez Molina. A trial court's ruling on a motion to suppress evidence combines the issue of law and fact, and the trial court's factual findings will not be overturned unless they are clearly erroneous. State versus Conant. When the decision on a motion to suppress is challenged, the application of constitutional principles to the facts is found will be freely reviewed. Personally, I believe that this judge is a very pro law enforcement judge. On November 13th, 2022, an officer from the Moscow Police Department responded to a residence located at 1122 King Road in Moscow, where he discovered the bodies of Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Ethan Chapin, and Xander Knodel. Each appeared to have been stabbed to death. Well, we've heard that there was different injury patterns. There was a different injury pattern on Xander. There was a different injury pattern on Ethan, and of course, Kaylee and Maddie were stabbed to death. And Kaylee got it more brutal than Maddie. Is it because Kaylee uh, had more defensive wounds than Maddie? Maybe. On or around December 16th, 2022, defendant left his Pullman apartment and drove to his parents' home located at 119 Lambsden Drive in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, where he remained on or about December 28th, 2022. The FBI and Moscow Police Department requested assistance from the Pennsylvania State Police in their investigations, specifically in obtaining and executing warrants. As part of the assistance, PSP in their investigations, specifically in obtaining and executing warrants. As part of this assistance, PSP reviewed reports and affidavits prepared by the Moscow Police Department, including a probable cause statement prepared by Detective Brett Payne, outlining the circumstances of the crime and the investigation to date. On December 29th, a criminal complaint and probable cause order was filed in this action, and the Latah County magistrate issued a warrant for the defendant's arrest. See Defendant's Exhibit B to Lambsden motion. The same day, PSP applied for and obtained 3 search warrants from a Pennsylvania magistrate. 1 for 119 Lambsden Drive, 2 for defendant's person, and 3 for defendant's vehicle, which was believed to be parked in the garage of 119 Lambsden Drive. These search warrants were supported by the affidavit of probable cause, and Trooper Justin Leary, to which was attached Detective Payne's probable cause statement. Lambsden motion. Later that day, PSP received the signed arrest warrant issued by a Latah County magistrate. This just seems to be, in my own opinion, guys, in my own opinion, this just seems to be a lot of people's hands in the cookie jar. And I mean that. You had a lot of people's hands in one cookie jar. You had the Moscow Police Department, you had the ISP, you had FBI, and you also had the Pennsylvania State Police. And I'm sorry, that's just too many hands in the cookie jar. I mean, look at the IGG. You had ISP, then Othram, then the FBI. Now, is there a chain of custody going from one to the other to the other? I do not believe that there is a chain of custody in that, because if there was, Ann Taylor would have found it on the hearings on the 23rd and the 24th. And she even stated that she could not find any type of chain of custody. And that's just really, really sad with such a high-profile case. Late in the evening on December 29th, PSP and its Special Emergency Response Team, CERT, prepared for the execution of the warrants. Detective Payne was present briefly. So Detective Payne was in Pennsylvania. Huh, that's something. So Detective Payne flew from Idaho all the way to Pennsylvania. That's something new I did not know. To observe the final preparations, but then departed to prepare for defendant's arrival at the PSP police station. It was Detective Payne's understanding that PSP and CERT were preparing for a knock and announce entry, but they didn't do that. They did a no-knock warrant. During their final preparations, CERT snipers set an umbrella around the residence to monitor any activity therein, while a helicopter monitored from overhead. In the event defendant exited the residence, snipers observed a kitchen light turn on and saw a taller young white male wearing a black hoodie standing near the glass sliding door leading out to the deck at 12:40 a.m. The same person was seen again. This time, officers were able to positively. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
What do you think about what I just read there in the arrest warrants?
I don't know. I just hopped on. I haven't heard anything you've said.
I'll go back.
Okay.
Later on in the evening on December 29th, PSP and its Special Emergency Response Team, called CERT, prepared for the execution of the warrants. Detective Payne was present briefly. So Brett Payne was in Pennsylvania when Brian was arrested.
Yeah, I think he was there 48 hours before the arrest.
Yeah,
Because I've heard about that before. He had come out and said that because they were talking about we were talking about the timeline, trying to figure out if they were, you know.
yeah, because it said to observe final preparations, but then departed to prepare for the defendant's arrival at PSP Police Station, Pennsylvania State Police, basically. It was Detective Payne's understanding that PSP and CERT were preparing for a knock and announce entry, but that's not what they did. They did a no knock warrant. They didn't do a knock and announce.
Yeah, I don't understand where they came up with that reasoning. 100%. It's like, but it just boils down to why didn't they talk to him before then?
Yeah.
Too.
During their final preparations, CERT snipers set an umbrella around the residence to monitor any activity. So they had snipers trained on Brian that night.
Yep. I mean, it makes sense. So they thought they had their guy. I mean,
yeah, but do they really have their guy?
I mean, I won't be making any judgments until I see all of that evidence. But my point is I can see where they have snipers. My point is yours too. Is like, why not apprehend him when they've seen him going to CVS, going to the grocery store, going on jogs, that night that he allegedly put the trash in the neighbor's whatever trash can. Apparently he was like walking out and about in the neighborhood that night. Like, I don't understand the logic and the, putting all of those people in danger when he was doing that.
Yeah, because it says right here, snipers observed a kitchen light turn around and saw a taller young white male wearing a black hoodie standing near the sliding glass door leading out to the deck at 12:40 a.m. The same person was seen again. This time, officers were able to positively identify the person as the defendant. Okay, let's see here. State Exhibits 1S4 to Lambden objection at 12:55 a.m. The light turned on in the garage where the defendant's vehicle was believed to be parked at 1:03 a.m. Lights then flashed in the garage as if the vehicle was being locked or unlocked by a key fob at 1:09. Defendant was seen in the kitchen of the home, this time wearing rubber gloves and handling a plastic baggie. Based on the observations, law enforcement believed defendant was potentially destroying evidence from the vehicle that was related to the homicides. And this case makes my brain hurt.
Me too.
Hey, if you want to live stream this to your channel, Kiki, you can.
I mean, I don't want to do a public live stream right now, but
no, I mean on your Capri channel.
Let me see.
There should.
Oh yeah, I can't stream it to Capri.
Yep.
Okay. True crime talk. Hey, look at that. All right. Cool. I didn't mean to sound that dumb. Sorry.
Well, what are some of your thoughts and stuff?
I will tell you, I literally just got done cleaning up the kitchen and picking up from dinner and everything. And the thing I was going to look into first are the new released audio. Like that's the one thing I haven't been able to dive into. The other thing I want to look into is there's some verbiage about like the way that the car was traveling. There's a lot of things I want to look at, but I just haven't had time to dive any deeper today since we talked earlier this afternoon.
Yeah. Now you do know in Frank's it talks It talks about the dog barking, right?
I do. I do. I haven't read the exact. Hey, Angel, how's it going? I haven't read it exactly. Are you gonna read some of it?
Yeah, I'm gonna read a little bit of it.
Sounds good. I'll try and pull up some talking points as well because I have some stuff written down. I'm just trying to fix my hair, everybody. Sorry. Hi,
Okay,
Angel.
it says the dog barking is in this issue. Defendants challenge omissions pertaining to the barking dog referenced in Payne Exhibit A. It states that at 417, a security camera located at a nearby residence on King Road picked up a distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper, followed by a loud thud. A dog can be heard barking numerous times at 417, Exhibit D3-B. And the only other information in Payne's Exhibit A pertaining to a dog refers to the fact that Kaylee Gonzalez's dog Murphy was found in her bedroom by first responders. Defendant contends that Detective Payne failed to include three allegedly important pieces of information pertaining to the dog. One, that the dog heard on the security camera continued to bark for 30 minutes after the suspect left. Two, that Detective Payne conducted a test to determine that the dog was likely outside while barking. And three, that Murphy was found without any blood on him, even though the bedroom doors were open where the decedents were found. According to defendant, this omitted information would have revealed that whoever was in the house brought the dog back inside after the suspect vehicle left. He further argues the information is material and exculpatory because it undermines the narrative and timeline that supports probable cause. However, defendant's argument assumes, without proof, there was no doors left open in the home after the suspect left. This assumption is not only speculative, but contrary to evidence in his proffer at the sliding glass door to the residence, the same door towards DM reportedly saw the suspect walk, was left open. Thus, if the dog heard barking was in fact Murphy, uh, it could well have come back inside.
Okay. However, the sliding glass door of the residence was left open. I mean, okay, so whew, there's a lot to digest in that, just that last paragraph, because I mean, this is where we actually are having confirmation here that that sliding glass door was open. You know, it changes a
But
lot of things.
according to Brett Payne, after reviewing Nunes' body cam, um, Murphy was found on Kaylee. The door was shut when Nunes opened the door to Kaylee's room to find Murphy laying on the bed.
Oh, really? Because I thought we heard to the contrary that the door was shut to his room and she was on the bed.
Yeah, according to this is in the PCA, Brett Payne reviewed some body cam, and Kaylee's door was shut before Brett Payne got there, and and I think Nunes or Smith, whoever it was, opened the door and witnessed Murphy on Kaylee's bed.
Now, are we talking about from Blaker's PCA or from the new paperwork?
Blaker's PCA.
He actually says he opened the door and found the dog.
Now I could actually pull the PCA up.
I mean, because I don't.
I'm glad I'm still on the. I'm glad I'm still on the freaking website.
According to the defendant, informant, whoever called the dog back inside after suspect vehicle left. The defendant with the argument, there is no presumption. Sliding glass door. I think he said he just entered Kaylee's room. Angel, do you remember? Well, you got it pulling up. The defendants, however, defendants' argument resumed without proof. There were no doors left open in the home after the suspect left. This assumption is not only speculative, but contrary to the evidence in this proffer that the sliding glass door to the residence, the same door towards which DM reportedly saw the suspect walk, was left open. And then they give all these exhibits proving the door was left open right there. And then it says, thus, if the dog heard barking was in fact Murphy, it could have well come back inside. And then Angel says, AT recently said all the bedroom doors were open, allegedly. So that would include, obviously, Kaylee's door.
Okay, right here. I then followed Officer Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. The third floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined to be Kaylee Gonzalez's, hereafter Gonzalez room. I later learned from review of Officer Nunes' body cam there was a dog in the room when Moscow police officers initially responded. The dog belonged to Gonzalez and her ex-boyfriend, Jack Ducour. I found out from my interview with Jack on November 13th that he and Gonzalez shared the dog. OFC Smith then pointed out a small bathroom on the east side of the third floor. This bathroom shared a wall with Madison Mogan's, hereafter Mogan's bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the third floor. So Payne states right there that he'd reviewed the body cam of Officer Nunes, and in that body cam it showed Murphy on Kaylee's bed.
But it doesn't say that the door was shut.
It doesn't say it was open either.
But AT said in court all the bedroom doors were open, allegedly. Wait, is that what Angel just said? AC recently said the bedroom doors were open, allegedly. Just talking it out with you. That's all. I'm not sure, but I mean, if the dog was sitting on the bed, and the sliding glass door was left open because AT just in that response, she just listed like, I don't know, maybe like 5 different places it was cited to be left open, then that means that, not that it means anything, but it does mean Murphy could have been outside barking. I guess that's true. I don't know what that changes, but
yeah, I mean, also if you think about it, yeah, Murphy was Kaylee's pride and joy. If the doors were open, I'm not saying that they were. I'm not saying they were open or closed. If they were open, wouldn't they found Murphy laying in the bedroom with next to Kaylee because his master had just died, and wouldn't there be red stuff all over Murphy, and there wasn't nothing on Murphy at all?
I totally agree. And then Angel brings up a good point, which is that the doors being open could mean unlocked, not just open, which is extremely true. And Priscilla Presley said, I heard from someone in a video that in one of the release documents, it said Payne did the experiment to see if Murphy was outside when he was barking. I don't know all the details, though. And he did. And I asked when we heard about that, it was AR. AR said that was pretty standard for them to do a sound test like that. Hold on. Official Capri, did you get a chance to read DM's friend's mom's Facebook post? I don't know, but I can bring them up right now. Well, yes, hold on. I'm trying to think, Angel. We talked about this before. I saw a video when I looked at that. I'm so sorry, Angel.
DM's friend's mom allegedly saw DM saw Ethan run outside trying to call 911 allegedly and passed out. Now that's that I have not heard that because if he passed out outside, we would have heard about it. They would have said that Ethan was found outside. Ethan was found in Xana's bedroom. And
Yeah. I wonder if it could be so. I mean, I don't know if there was more to. Well, then the other thing too is we didn't hear about.
Angel says it's hearsay.
Angel D, maybe we'll save that one for the members live. But Angel D, I have to say thank you for sending me all that information. I'm sorry I'm not well versed, but I just appreciate it. I always go back and I look at everything, and if I haven't brought it
Hey,
up yet,
Swirefly.
hey, Swirefly, don't say forget it. Oh my god, members only. Don't you dare Josco me again, Angel. I'm kidding. That was a joke. I hope. See, the thing about Angel, can I just tell you what I love about Angel D? She gets my sense of humor. Like my like dry sense of humor. For some reason, she always has got it. It's nice. She doesn't misunderstand it. Thank you, Angel D.
I would really like to know who these four brothers are. Are they four brothers of Kopaka?
I don't really understand the context in which it is. Like, so again, it's hard for me to speak on these because I've heard all of these documents like in piecemeal being gone through. But if you pull up something, I will react to it. But I don't have like a raw reaction to the four brothers just because I've only heard like Miss Potts' reactions and the chat's reactions. I have not had the chance to study that myself. But if you pull it up, I'll give you I'll give you my raw reaction on
it. Patricia said, I think Murphy was put in his crate in Kaylee's car during the 9/11s. KG said Kaylee left his crate while was left his crate was still in her car.
Hold on a second. Can you put that back? I think Murphy. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt Natalie. Okay. Yeah. I think Murphy was put in his crate in Kaylee's car during the unalivings. KG said Kaylee left his crate and he was still in her car. Yeah, Christy said that the crate was still in the car. I heard DM was passing out and Hunter took the phone without knowing anything, but then DM was not well. I'm slow writing. This is my second language. You're fine. You're fine, Natalie.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, we don't worry about the chat. We write whatever you want in the chat, no judgment. But I think that there's a lot of truth to what you're saying. Like I have theorized on the same thing many times. We know it was one of the roommates' phones that made the 911 call, but we know it wasn't a roommate. And we know there was an unconscious person. And then to even take it a step further, both Robert and I know people who have confirmed some early news reports stating that there were 4 dead and 1 rushed to the hospital. So, I mean, I don't think we're going to have any new information before trial, but very well, I think you could be 100% right on that.
Yeah.
Not Ethan. Ethan wasn't outside. Yeah. No, I know. Wait, hold on. But yeah, members only because it's controversial. Yep. Then you got it. Hey, Tonka. Thanks.
Hey, Tonka. Okay. Natalie says, my information comes from a video. Comes from a video of a man talking about DM in the first few months. In that video, he talked about how DM was okay. Yeah, I've seen and I've heard that video too, and I've been trying to find that video and I can't find it. I forgot the guy's YouTube channel name, but allegedly he was a friend of her best friend, or an uncle of her friend. That's her best friend, and he said that that Dylan didn't have a traumatic disorder. Dylan didn't have this. Dylan didn't have that. Yeah, Dylan was laughing and joking about the unalivings, which I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, again, hearsay and speculation. And Patricia says, sorry, Kaylee had his crate in her car, and the crate was still in there the next morning.
Yeah. As far as that like phone call, I mean that interview, I don't know. Like I've heard from many people recently that it's real, but for a good year I've been being told that it's fake. So
Yeah.
I'm like at a place where I just can't report on it. I
Angel
don't.
says, Angel said he was the boyfriend of a girl in DM's inner friend circle allegedly.
I don't know what to think. Chat, would you drop a 1 in the chat if you think that is a good, legitimate interview to report on, or drop a 2 in the chat if you think Robert and I should maybe avoid that particular subject. And we're going to do our own research, of course, but we just like
Yeah.
to know what the general audience thinks about that interview. Sounds like Natalie, I know a lot of people have thought that it was really interesting. I don't know. If I were Dylan, I would have had it taken down if it were real.
He seemed to infer law enforcement put words in her mouth or something like that. Angel D says 1.5.
1.5. Yeah, Angel, that's about where I am too. I know.
Yeah. I'm at a 1.1.
You're at a 1.1?
Yeah. uh now
I'm sorry, I'm putting on makeup right now.
Robert, I will share the video. I will share that video in your Discord.
Patricia's got a 2, so she thinks it's
Jack
Jack
Johnston says 2. What do we think? I want to ask your honest opinion, Kiki. What do you think about the chain of custody of the IGG? Was there chain of custody or was there not chain of custody?
I mean, the first thing I'm going to say is I have very little information about the chain of custody of the IGG. Specifically, I mean, I don't even know if we don't know the actual material chain of custody of the biological evidence. I don't think we're going to know that until we can see the evidence in court. But as far as like the lab work, that's a little even it's hard to even follow the money trail on that one. Because you see that one sent into the lab, but you also know that the semen had a workup, and you know that the male DNA bloods had a workup as well, but you don't see the billing for that in Othram. And so it's hard for me to speak on chain of custody when it comes to biologic. And then when it comes to other types of DNA they may have tested, such as hair strands, blood stains they found in the apartment, stuff like that, I have questions about that chain of custody as well. And that's where I really thought the Franks hearing was going to come in, because not only some of the investigating officers that handled that, but like some of the methodology behind, like, well, Don Daniels not quite following protocol, and possibly taking evidence that was time sensitive and disintegrating and putting it inside of a storage locker for like 7 to 10 days instead of it going right to ISP. It's just weird to me. I don't know. Yeah. So I have chain of custody, but I don't have all the information. So it's just a confusing situation,
I do have that video pulled up that Swirefly sent me.
Thanks, Swirefly. Wait, hold on. I'm not keeping up with the chat. I'm sorry. Trying to switch the gears here. IGG is still kind of up in the air consideration. Wait. Hold on. Why is there? Wait, can I ask a question before you press play, just so Tonka can give the answer? Tonka said, trying to switch gears here. If IGG is kind of up in the air, considering recent developments, what are the recent developments that IGG is still up in the air? Oh my gosh, I'm so behind. I missed that.
Chain of custody is still a huge issue.
Are we like even without the Franks hearing it is that going to be a huge issue at court? I mean, yeah, because like officer misconduct,
Yeah.
part of that is so that you can kind of go after the officer on the stand for officer misconduct.
Yeah.
I'll shut up.
Okay, this is a
Josco blocked. I knew you
Feds
were Josco blocking.
screwing or attempting to screw Dylan.
I know this voice. I
Let me
know
Yeah,
this
give
so
you
do
a
I.
brief background as to who I am.
I know this voice. Hold on. I'm so good at voices.
I'll tell you in back chat.
Oh, I've heard people say, let me see what you say in back chat. Oh, is it really? Let me keep going. Keep going.
Yeah.
You might be right.
So
You might
my
be right.
girlfriend is in Dylan's inner circle. And by inner circle, I mean inner circle. Like they've hung out almost every day since the incident.
No,
occurred.
it's not. I
And
know
I've
his
seen
voice
her
so
a
good.
plethora of
It's
times
not.
as well.
Sounds like.
So you're
I
gonna
would know
notice
his
I'm not
voice
gonna
if you
use
were a
words
stranger
like
at a bus
allegedly,
station.
supposedly, because all of this is actual firsthand factual information. Where should I start to clear things up? First of all, there's a lot of misconception about Dylan suffering from
I don't think we
PTSD
should
or
be playing this,
trauma or
honestly.
any of that. None of that is accurate.
I really don't think we should be playing this.
Your
I'm
wish
not.
is my your wish is
I'm
my command.
sorry. I'm not trying to be a party pooper, but you know what? I'm sorry, chat. But here's the thing: is we have to be a little bit careful because
Yeah.
these things, like, honestly, even without this, Dylan's gonna get so much grief. Like,
Yeah.
but if this isn't true, like, that's a pretty tough things to say about.
Oh yeah.
I don't want you to get in trouble, Robert. That's all.
Oh, I know.
Maybe I'm overreacting, you guys. Yeah, I'm sorry I overreact in the chat.
Okay.
Yay, Doc.
It's the IgG was first performed by Othram Labs, a company with which the Idaho Department of Purchasing had an existing contract for such work. Othram was asked to develop a SNP profile from Q1, upload it to those public genealogy databases, permitting law enforcement entry and to submit a preliminary report of its findings. Othram was not asked to ascertain medical information associated with Q1, nor is there any evidence it tested for such. Law enforcement did not obtain a warrant for Othram's work. The Idaho State Police delivered to Othram on November 22nd, 2022. Othram developed a SNP profile from Q1 and searched the family tree DNA and GEDmatch or GEDmatch Pro. This work revealed 4 brothers of interest, all of whom were low matches to Q1. To further its family tree building, Othram asked the Idaho State Police to contact one of the identified brothers to provide a DNA sample to upload into either one of 2 databases. Now, here's the thing. Mr. Koberger don't have brothers. He has 2 sisters.
But they weren't put the doc. Let's look at that document again, because didn't it say that they were a close genetic match? Right? Hold on, let me look at the chat. Nobody's saying anything yet. Wait. Patricia says, I was under the impression that the four brothers, hold on. The 4 brothers were bros to each other, and the Ellie got in contact for a sample, but it was a low level hit, low grade hit, whatever they called it, it was told no, and that was true. Third cousin. Yeah, so 4 brothers, but they're not Koberger's brothers. They're distant relatives, am I right? Frank's now on vacation. Oh gosh, did Frank did I hate using names. I won't use them again, but did he get suspended? Why would he be on vacation? It looks like the family name has 10 letters in its spelling. Robert,
What?
can you bring the document back up, please?
Yeah, just a minute. I had this big red thing appear on my computer screen, going, please, please upgrade. There's nationwide hacking that's going to be imminent. So I'm having to click through a bunch of BS just to get it off my screen.
I get it. Take your time. The chat is interested. This is a good question. This is something we all want to know.
Okay, what do you want?
Tonka says he's multitasking. He has family in town.
I'm lost. Frank's hearing or Frank a person?
I thought we were talking about Frank a person.
Jack Johnstone said Frank's hearing.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, Mark and Betty. Okay. Now, what would you like for me to go over, Miss Kiki?
That document again, sir.
You mean the DNA one I was just reading?
Yes, please.
Which part? About the
4 brothers.
The 4 brothers? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The Idaho State Police delivered Q1 .1 to Othram on November 22nd, 2022. Othram developed a SNP profile from Q1.1 and searched family tree and GEDmatch Pro or GEDmatch. This work revealed 4 brothers of interest, all of whom were low matches to Q1.1. To further its family tree building, Othram asked the Idaho State Police to contact one of the identified brothers to provide a DNA sample to upload into either of the 2 databases. Despite Idaho Police's request, the contacted brother declined to provide a sample.
But they're low match, so they're not like actually Kohlberger's brother. They're like, they just wanted their DNA to further like the investigation on the family tree. I think
Kohlberger don't have no brothers. He has 2 sisters. So whose DNA were they testing that had 4 brothers?
A low-level match, like a third cousin or something. And then what they would do is they knew that it was some sort of match to Q1. So once they had, if I'm reading this, if I'm hearing this right, and then they were going to take that and build a tree off of that. But if you run into it, I heard this in Miss Potts, if you run into like an issue with this tree, you're supposed to like start all the way over. I found out. Not that that is related to it.
Well, what if this, this Q1.1, was the other BK, not Brian Kohlberger? Didn't he have brothers?
Well, but here's the thing: is the Q1? If I'm not mistaken, chat. Am I confused? The Q1 sample he's referencing isn't the one with brothers. It just was a low. It was a low level match.
The Q1 is the Q1 is the one with the brothers. It states right here. Here, I'll even put it on screen for everyone.
Wait, hold on. What is it? What's the chat saying? Oh, Twiz is here. Twiz, it was the closest hearing. Wait, it's getting even more messy, Robert. Oh, thanks. Yeah, pull that up. Let's get this. Let's get this straight
right here. It's a page at the bottom page of the 3. the Idaho State Police delivered Q1, which we know as the more likely the touch DNA or genetic information in general.
Mm-hmm.
On to Othram on November 22nd, 2022. Othram developed a SNP profile from Q1
Mm-hmm.
and searched family tree DNA and GEDmatch Pro. This work revealed 4 brothers of interest, meaning 4 brothers of interest, meaning 4 suspects possibly.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, they were
All of
brothers. I'm sorry.
oh okay, all of whom were low matches to Q1. To further its family tree building, Othram asked the Idaho State Police to contact one of the identified brothers to provide a DNA sample to upload into either of the 2 databases. Despite Idaho State Police request, the contacted brother declined to provide a sample.
Okay, so before you X out of that page, go back up to if you could please go back up to that other paragraph.
All right.
Crap. All right, so this is what I want to point out to you. So where it says in this last paragraph that starts with the Idaho State Police did, so I'll break it down. I'm going to break it down to my understanding, and then you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. The Idaho State Police delivered Q1 to Othram on November 22nd, 2022. Othram developed an SNP profile from Q1.1 and searched family tree, DNA, and GEDmatch Pro. This work revealed 4 brothers of interest, of whom were low matches to Q101. Now remember, Q101 was delivered to Othram, so that is the suspect in this case. But these were low matches to that, meaning they're not the brothers to this match. They were low levels, and like Swirefly was saying, that's like third cousin. So then it goes on to say to further the family tree building. So they were taking those low level matches, and in the information they would have got from them are a whole plethora of like, it's like that it would have spiderwebbed them out. It would have given them more options to figure out who Q1 was. It was basically to hone in on them. And it sounds like they refused, which I mean, I don't know if I'd want to be implicated, have my DNA thrown into a case like this either. Wait, what? I need to learn how to juggle. It's good as a third or fourth cousin. That's good to know.
Angel
Bathwater.
needs to sell my bathwater to the highest bidder.
Didn't Lotto do it? Didn't Lotto the rapper sell like her bathwater and then like her?
Yeah, she sold her bathwater.
That's a great idea. I'm sure you can make a lot of money up.
And no one's gonna want my bathwater because I don't take a bath; I take showers.
Only one of the brothers refused. That's interesting. I brought hot cocoa with me.
Hot cocoa.
Come on. I don't know.
Yeah. In my case, hot cocoa would be hot cocoa with Fireball in it as a nice hot toddy.
You guys, I'm going to tell us the chat. I have not had a drink since November no, I did have a sip of wine in December of 2013, but I haven't had like a drink since like probably October, maybe even like August of 2013. So that's 12 years, 12 freaking years. I'd like a Fireball and a hot cocoa.
Yeah, I still have Fireball in
I
my
really don't know what
freezer.
I'd do if I drank anyway. Like, really, what would I do? You know what I would like to do is drink and take a hot tub. That's what I would like to do. That's nice.
Okay, Okay, on December 10th,
Australia.
2022, members of law enforcement, including the FBI, had a meeting to discuss Othram's work. As a result, a decision was made to turn the IGG work over to the FBI the same day. Othram was instructed to stop work and turn over its SMP profile or SNP and search results to the Idaho State Police. Othram did so along with the preliminary report of his findings. The preliminary report
I'll keep going. Okay. So the Idaho State Police then turned the information over to the FBI, which was able to use the Othram profile to develop a significantly larger SMP profile. The FBI uploaded a large SMP profile to the multiple genealogy databases including GEDmatch and MyHeritage, which purport what is purport? It must be a typo, right? Which purport
we're at.
What?
I mean, it says preliminary report of its findings. The preliminary report did not contain any medical information associated with the SMP profile. The Idaho State Police then turned the information over to the FBI, which was able to use Othram's profile to develop a significantly larger SMP profile. The FBI uploaded the larger SMP profile to multiple genetic genealogy databases, including GEDmatch and MyHeritage. And MyHeritage is the one where they weren't really allowed to upload any genetic information. Well, law enforcement is not allowed to because that's a private company where private citizens like us pay money to find their ancestry and like brothers, sisters, cousins, nephews, uncles, aunts, and the FBI, like my brother AR said last night, the FBI did stuff in the dark, and this is one of the things they did in the dark was the SMP profile.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to bring up something I talked about in a video last week, which is, could it be that, I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Othram they haven't not only not turned over this data, they've also not turned over a lot of their protocols for their lab. They haven't.
Hey, Bria
Hey,
Silver's in the chat.
Hey, sweetie, it's nice to see you. Bria, I haven't told anyone I was going live because in the middle of this live, Robert just told me to dual stream.
Tonka says, I still think MPD went rogue. Well, we're on the same page with that, Tonka. Too Fast is in the house.
Hey, Too Fast. We would.
Okay, let's see. Okay.
I said 12 years I was talking about both of us quit drinking. I thought you said, and he said, congratulations. Congratulations, Tonka.
Okay, let's see here. From the information it acquired through the databases search, the FBI was able to build a family tree and arrive at a potential match. On December 19th, 2022, the FBI provided defendant's name to the Idaho law enforcement as a possible source of the DNA. The FBI instructed that the identification of defendant as a person of interest was to be considered solely as a tip. They called it in as a tip.
I know, and like, I think that the words that we're kind of that reminds me of the most is when Ann Taylor is saying in her document that they got to Brian Koberger at the 19th. And I'm talking about in the open hearings, not in her documents.
Yeah.
Then she leads with, I think what this is showing us is there was no investigation. It was like they got the tip and then there was no leading to Brian after that. They just tried to build some things around it.
Yeah. Like Anna Rodriguez just said, I don't know why I should prick my finger to get blood DNA. Well, see, here's the thing, Kiki. Sorry, I almost called you Cookie because I was moving my mic. um,
Called a
here's
lot
the
worse.
here's the thing, though. Yeah, with the DNA, there was no chain of custody. Ann Taylor even called that out in her opening statements of the 23rd of January. There was no chain of custody. There was no connection at all to the victims. There was no stalking. That's been debunked by Bill Thompson. But yet, you have, I'm not going to say their name. Yeah. You have this married couple that is still running around saying that their daughter was being stalked. One that was clearly disproven.
What did that happen again recently? Or are we just talking about in general since
In
leading up to
general.
this? Yeah. I mean, yeah, and I think that we know that because there was a venue change, and it's of course it coincided.
Oh, and
with
they
it.
were so happy. They were so happy about the venue change. Yeah, you and I both know that they were so happy about the venue change.
Well, not at first, but definitely afterwards, it seemed like they really, really liked this judge. I think we all had a lot of hope for Judge Hippler because he
Mm-hmm.
seemed to really by the books, law centric
Yeah.
judge.
Swirefly says, you really need to read the transcripts in their entirety and you will get a lot of answers.
Do you want to do that, Robert? Do you want to pull the transcripts up?
I don't know how to pull the transcripts up.
Well, my darling, I can pull them up for you. If you want to. I'm not trying to hijack your live stream.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me
Chris Silver said, I want to know what made SG change his mind about it being Brian. Remember, at first he was hesitant.
I think I think at the end of the day, it boils down to maybe there was pressure. We know a few things. We know that if you're going to be a witness, I learned something interesting when they talked about venue change because they were talking about like the funds that they paid for witnesses and for family members to attend trial. Sorry, my lighting's all messed up. But they apparently, if you go against the narrative of the police, you don't get that money. So I don't know, like, is there some sort of reason why a lot of families might rally around law? I don't know. I do know that they want to probably have faith in the law enforcement. They don't want to believe that the wrong person's in jail. How devastating a thought that would be for the family who has had this kind of loss.
Yeah, and clearly this judge that we have, Judge Hippler, he's clearly pro law enforcement, and you can tell it with these denials. He is very pro law enforcement, and I'm not gonna throw Dylan under the bus because I don't know what she went through. I wasn't there. You weren't there. None of us were there, but. Yeah, I mean, I feel that he's also very pro Dylan and pro Bethany because mainly pro Dylan because of what he stated in the Frank's denial that that he finds her very credible and very reliable, And there's a lot of us, on this platform that's going to disagree that she's not credible at all and she's not reliable. Um, but that's gonna be up for Ann Taylor and Becca Barlow and Massa to decide if she's credible when they actually have a chance to cross-examine her.
Absolutely. Like that's going to now it's going to be now it's going to be down to what her credibility is going to be on the stand and the cross-examination. I wanted to finish my thought on the Gonzalez's though, because there was another thought I had, because I really try hard to be balanced, and I like to give both sides. And like I've really observed this because I watch a difference between the way like Stephen Gonzalez is treated and other people. And I know there's some of the obvious things, but I think that at the end of the day, like when the police make the charges, I think that it's a good idea to be quiet and if you're going to agree with the police, let the trial unfold. Because, and I'm not saying anybody has to do anything, but you can see how when you interject in the media, you become part of the back and forth conversation about the case, what law enforcement did, what their criticism is. And when you take a position against that, it's almost like you're taking a side. So like it's really, if I can see if like you're a victim's parent wanting to interject yourself into the media if something's unsolved or if you're trying to find the perpetrator. But I now, from watching this, if I ever were to give advice to a parent going through that, I would be like, keep your mouth shut until trial, unless you're objecting to something that you see is wrong. Like, because you're becoming part of the persuasion tactic, of
False
law.
flag.
And learning from AR that right along in the expenses that you pay for court is your media. Like you have to pay for your own press releases and like kind of like sometimes your own smear campaign.
Now, here's what I wonder: since we have Judge Hippler streaming the hearings from the courtroom, from his own from his own YouTube channel, is the media actually going to be in there? Because we know how the media that happened in the Latah County. The media kept focusing in on Brian, and Judge got mad and kicked him out. Is that going to happen in Boise as well? If the media comes into the courtroom and they're zoomed in on Brian, or they're zoomed in on the family. I mean, I honestly think that how Judge Hippler has it now with the with the streaming onto YouTube and he can kill it anytime he wants. Is the media going to be allowed to be in there, or is the judge just going to stream it to his YouTube channel?
I mean, that's a good question. I think the media is going to be allowed in there, but if you remember, we have an example of the media zooming in. Remember the Vallow trial? Wasn't that a big thing? Like in the Vallow trial, he stopped everything in that particular courtroom and made them. Don't you remember something along those lines? I think.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember something along those lines.
I wonder if he was the judge. I know it was the same courtroom. No, same courthouse.
Well, yeah,
wow,
the same.
It's got some great comments going too.
Okay, I don't care what anyone says. I still think Hippler is the best judge for this case. I mean, and I agree with you, Tonka. I think he is the best judge for this case, and he is, very, by the book, and I think he's a hardline judge. Yeah, that's just the way I see it. He's very hardline. He's hardlined against the defense, and he's hardlined against the prosecution. But he is, the way I see it, he's also pro law enforcement, because in these denial motions, it's like law enforcement can do no wrong. Brett Payne and Maury can do no wrong, and they were both credible witnesses in his eyes.
I think Tonka also, though, is referring to the fact that, so there are all types of backgrounds you can have for like former litigants, for like attorneys.
Yeah.
And Hitler's litigation experience is in malpractice. And in this case, there's so much to do with like, I think Tonka's getting at maybe that's why he was picked by the Supreme Court, was because of his medical background, and maybe he could give some insight to things like injuries, DNA, science, because of his malpractice background. I don't know, Tonka, am I mistaken? Is that what you were
He
referencing?
said, without a doubt, at Robert, but Hitler will rule according to precedents.
Oh, okay. So because he's a law-abiding judge. And then,
Yeah, because I mean, he has stated it numerous times in his court. He is bound to the Idaho Constitution.
just so
And
the chat knows, I just got out of the shower before this, if they're wondering why I'm putting on makeup right now. I had 20 minutes ready.
Yeah, Mark and Betty says, I think Hitler is going to do it by the book, and Taylor needs to be stronger.
Do you think that well, I'm not going to ask that question because I already answered. I was going to say, do you think that she put the right amount of effort into each argument? But I was going to say, I'm getting at like all the motions she made to suppress evidence versus maybe.
I mean, and what from the live stream last night that you myself and AR did, I thoroughly agree with my brother AR. They were led in that they were led in because, I mean, like he stated last night, they had 2,000, what was 2,000 small pages, and then the judge said that's too much, so they trimmed it down to 1,000 pages, and the motions were still denied.
Right, like it was a trap.
I think, yes, exactly. I think Judge Hitler walked them into a trap and then sprung it. And denied their motions. And I think complaining about how many pages there was part of the trap.
Yeah, so they went for brevity, and what he really wanted was for the more attached affidavits. I think that's what David Bird said. Hopefully, Hitler's demeanor will change for the higher standard of proof. Why are they talking about bathwater? You must be back in the stream. I don't even remember what we were talking about too, Angel. Oh, we were talking about selling bathwater, but I can't remember the lady in the bathtub.
That rapper lady or something.
Oh, Lotto.
Yeah.
I like, that's the nicest thing she was selling. Just Google it. She was selling a lot, and she got shut down on eBay. She was selling some stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Oh, it's not that.
But what the way I feel is, I'll state it again. Yeah, they ID'd his car on the 25th of November.
Mm-hmm.
They let him go from the 16th of December until almost New Year's Eve. Yeah, they let him drive 2,500 miles across the country. Why? I do understand he was a person of interest. Yeah, he wasn't a suspect or anything like that. He was a person of interest. And I've been thinking about that all day long. Did they not want to jeopardize what they had and bring him in before he even left for Pennsylvania? They might not have had enough because if you look at it, a majority of this stuff, Kiki, they did not get until after he was arrested.
So, okay, so this is my thoughts on this. This is where I think the real contradiction comes into what we've heard. In chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong. So, what Robert's saying, they had the IgG, but they couldn't use that as probable cause. So it was
No, they
just
didn't. No, this was before the IgG. This was way before the IgG.
the 25th.
Because they identified him. They identified him via car by those two WSU police officers that were like security guards.
Mhm.
One checked his his that was queuing White Elantras at WSU, came across his ID and noticed it was from Pennsylvania.
Bushy
30
eyebrow.
minutes 30 minutes later, you have a second WSU police officer driving around the parking lot, located his car. Now, his car had Washington tags because they were going to expire on I think it was the 19th of November, and he went and got them changed. I think like the 17th or the 18th. So yeah, they queued the White Elantra, found his ID, said it was from Pennsylvania, went out, looked for White Elantras, found the car, and it had Washington plates that he had already switched over from Pennsylvania. There's these two security guards have stated that they set that tip for the Elantra aside. They set it aside. And then they went, because they thought they had the wrong car. I can't remember how long later it was. You had Brett Payne come along and start looking at the car, along with the Emil guy, the FBI guy. Now, originally, the FBI guy that Emil something, Special Agent Emil, said he did not like how the front headlights looked on the 2014 Elantras. He much preferred the 2011 to 2013. So, where did the 11 to 16 come from? Even though you had the vehicle guy for the FBI said he did not like how the headlights looked on the 14, and he much preferred the 11 and the 13.
Can I go back to the tip part?
Yeah.
Okay. So WSU, you were just talking about WSU tip and everything. So this is the contradiction I wanted to bring up. So here's the deal. They get the tip from the FBI. Okay, so it's just a tip. They can't actually get probable cause from that. So they need an exact match. And what they were waiting for is to get a sample in DNA when they had from Brian's father when they had the knee. The real question for me is they knew Brian's name at that point. They knew his name. Why didn't they just ask him for a sample?
Yeah.
Why did they have to wait for a match to the dad to arrest him when they could just ask him for a sample?
That's what I've been screaming from the top of the top of the YouTube mountain.
The entire internet is acting weird. Are you guys getting glitchy over there? I can't tell. I want
no Twizzle Stick said
for dinner.
A Twizzle Stick said Angel D, YouTube's been acting weird.
Yeah, it's been super glitchy everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, Angel D says she wants chicken and something.
Hey, Anna. I feel like there's some kind of blood at the crime scene as evidence. I feel like there's some kind of blood at the crime scene as evidence now that way they did investigation or on the person of interest. In no way they did investigation. Yeah. They even asked one of the brothers for DNA. They don't commit a crime like this and have none of the victims' DNA in the car. It doesn't matter how much to clean it. Yeah, one of the things that's been pointed out to me is like just like the safety belt. Like you take that off and like all of the like when it goes back into the little wheelie thing, like all of the DNA goes down. And like how do you clean that? And they like brake pedals, everything. And they took all those.
Oh yeah, they took the brake pedals off. They tore that car. They dismantled that car and didn't find nothing.
Nerds is in full force right now.
That's because you're on my side, Bree. They're all on Kiki's side.
You have more people on your side. You have 12 people in your chat right now. I just checked. Didn't check my chat. So Robert, I interrupted you and you started getting into the changing, and I don't want to hijack your live stream. I'm sorry. So you started getting into the FBI and their comfort level in changing the ID of those years. And I thought that was a really interesting exchange. Obviously, it was so interesting that Ann Taylor decided to include it in her declaration. And if you all didn't catch it, watching exactly what happened was the person doing the identification felt they were comfortable with a range of the Elantra being from 2011 to 2013. And then an email suggested that they open the range up to 2016. And a second time, the person who was doing the identification said, okay, but I am more comfortable with this range of cars. So it was an interesting exchange. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff. Okay, let's see what the resident realtor says, but I love him. Maybe they opted instead of just going up to Brian and asking for a sample. They instead chose to observe him and looked for an opportunity to obtain his DNA without his knowledge.
What about the Thai restaurant? Why didn't they just go there and like get a glass of water that he drank? Or the hotel?
Kiki's live on a different channel, Mark and Betty.
If you leave like a hotel, I mean, you're gonna leave like your DNA at the hotel inadvertently. Like it's not like DK could with his dad there, like, take ammonia out and like.
You leave your DNA anywhere and everywhere you go.
Mark and Betty, I'm live on an obscure hobby channel that I just started. We're just a little growing channel. We just have 44 subscribers. We're just a little guy.
Yeah, you leave your touch DNA anywhere and everywhere you go.
Puppy. My dog is.
Yeah. That's just the sad part about touch DNA. You leave it everywhere you go. And like say you open a door to a restaurant, your touch DNA is on that door. Somebody behind you walks in and opens that same door, your touch DNA it transfers from the door to them. That's just how it works.
It's kind of interesting too, because there's like a phantom effect involved with it, where like sometimes this DNA appears when you haven't been in the room. It's just, we don't 100% know how touch transfer DNA works. And that's why it's always meant to be found with an identifier, like a fingerprint.
Okay, Jeff H. says, you guys ever seen that movie Gattaca? All this reminds me of it. And Scott Metalhead says, sure, they had plenty of opportunities before he traveled all that distance to get it. And I agree with you, Scott. I mean, they had, all the opportunity to get his DNA, but they plucked it. They plucked his dad's DNA from a trash can. That's what I don't understand.
I'm sorry, Robert. I'm trying to find something.
You know what I
So,
mean?
Robert, have you read any of the new transcripts that came out?
No, I've been digging into these documents. Mark and Betty, Jeff H. Don't forget he had a sheath. All right, that freaking little that little man just popped back up on my freaking computer.
What little man? What are you talking
Uh,
about?
the one that's warning about it, an imminent cyber attack. And all it is just a plug for uh, a plug for the PC store. Jeff, don't forget he had a sheath. He had a sheath, a knife, a shower curtain, and a vacuum cleaner. Is that a kill kit? Well, we don't actually know if he had an actual vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, hold on. Where did Thomas say that? Where's that comment?
Let's see, that was from Mark and Betty.
Okay, Jeff, don't forget he had a sheath, a knife, a shower curtain, and a vacuum cleaner. Is that a kill kit?
I mean, because that's all we heard is kill kits, kill kits, kill kits from a
Now
certain
we know
family.
Yeah, but they didn't get it from themselves. Like they didn't make it up. They're getting it from somewhere. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest, like I don't necessarily know if I want to come out. There were a lot of vocal pieces that came out, but a lot of it they claimed came from ISP officers. I'm just saying a lot of these rumors.
Jeff
Jeff,
H says.
back me up
Uh,
on that. You know that came from ISP officers.
Jeff H says, what Dylan believed looked like a vacuum cleaner attachment was probably the K bar, or the K bar wrapped in something.
That's what I was thinking, like, but also like we don't know what type of vacuum cleaner she was talking about. So if she was talking about like one of those rectangle ones with a hose, or if she's talking like a handheld vacuum, then maybe that's where they're getting the kill kit, like a duffel bag type thing. I don't know. But if it was like a dirt devil, then it's just the K bar and the sheath. This is such a hard conversation to have because it's just pure speculation.
Yeah.
There's nothing to even base anything off of. Like it's hard to even know what she meant by that. But we could go down so many different paths, you know. But then again, one of the things we've always thought is if there's lighting in the hallway and you could tell the eyebrows, and now we know she could tell the race of the person. We always thought, well, why didn't you see the knife? You know, or did you not see any blood? And I wonder if there's more to it. Did she see blood? And like she did see something, you know, if it was dirt devil shape, maybe it's the knife. But you know what I mean? We've always had conversations about was there enough lighting for Dylan to see more in that hallway? And I think the answer is yes. The good vibe sign, the lights outside, they did provide, you know, a clear view of the unaliver for Dylan.
Jeff says, while she did not tell Officer Nunez that she noticed the intruder carrying a vacuum type object in his hand, she did convey that information to Detective Mowry later that day. Well, no, she told Mowry and Gooch, not Nunez.
It takes me a minute to absorb them. I'm sorry, I'm rereading it.
Mowry.
She did confuse. Thank you. I just like to keep them up. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know I don't know. Am I missing the, what, it's a good quote. Am I missed, is that like
That was
contradicting?
a quote straight from the document, Jeff says.
Yeah, but was that contradicting something we said? I don't. Thank you for providing it. We appreciate. Wait, God. I mean, I don't know what to say.
No, and neither do I. So when you go back and
Like,
read this dang document.
the transcripts, the audio's transcript. Is that what document?
It says no warrant was obtained for the FBI's work, and subsequent warrant applications did not include the IgG results to inform probable cause. Okay, that right there makes me go like WTF. A
What?
subsequent warrant applications did not include the IgG results to inform probable cause. As the investigation ensued, law enforcement discovered that defendant had driven from Pullman, Washington, to his parents' home in a gated community in Monroe County, Pennsylvania. At the time, Monroe County's municipal waste ordinance required homeowners to dispose of their garbage by placing it out for collection or delivering it directly to a licensed waste hauler. Only an authorized trash collector could collect garbage left out for collection. Law enforcement decided to conduct a warrantless trash pull from the Koberger residence. Arrangements were made with the local trash collector to isolate and turn over the Koberger's garbage to law enforcement for testing. Okay, that right there says that the garbage man picked it up, but delivered it to the police.
That's a chain of custody issue, I would think.
Yeah, and it's right here. At the time, yeah, this is top of page 5. Yeah, at the time, Monroe County Municipal Waste Ordinance required homeowners to dispose of their garbage by placing it out for collection or delivering it directly to a licensed waste hauler. Only an authorized trash collector could collect garbage left out for collection. Law enforcement decided to conduct a warrantless trash pull from the Koberger residence. Arrangements were made with the local trash collector to isolate and turn over the Koberger's garbage to law enforcement for testing. Articles of trash were retrieved and sent to the Idaho State Police Forensic Lab to conduct standard DNA testing. A DNA profile developed from one article of trash was determined to be the biological father of source Q.1. Q1.1. Another article of trash revealed a mixture of male and female DNA. According to defendant's expert Gary Shuttler, the male DNA from the mixture was consistent with Q1.1 profile. Yeah, what AFF. G. Shuttler on December 19, 2024. Importantly, defendant has not claimed ownership or knowledge of the knife sheath from which Q1.1 was taken. After obtaining a search warrant, law enforcement collected DNA from a buccal swab obtained from defendant. A traditional STR DNA comparison was done between Q1.1 profile and defendant's DNA. The comparison showed I can't say that freaking word.
Statistical. I know it's like
match. Yeah, I always have problems with that dang word. Specifically, defendant was 5.37 octillion times more likely to be the source of the Q1.1 profile than unrelated individuals randomly selected from the general population. Defendant was subsequently charged in the case. Thoughts, Miss Kiki?
I mean, like the first thing is, I wonder, and the chat can correct me. Does this, like, we've heard a lot from, especially like Andrea Burkhart when we talk about the curtilage issues. If they had the trash collector take the trash and bring it to another location, does that eliminate the curtilage issue? And with knowing that, does that change? How do you feel when it comes to chain of custody? I mean, think of it like this, okay? Let's say you had, this is a hypothetical, just a hypothetical. Say you lived in a town and it was full of corruption, and somebody who's hired, not, somebody who's not involved in law enforcement was hired to collect some evidence, but there was some sort of corruption, and they could have, done something or put something in there or something along those lines. Like, you wouldn't, I don't think that a common layperson that wasn't part of the investigation should be involved in collecting that evidence.
No.
Just for the very issue is, yes, we want to trust everyone involved. We want to believe everybody was out to catch the bad guy. But in that one instance, if the system is fragile and if you don't follow the rules, and again, it might just be an issue of on the stand, that's the argument that is given by the defense. This is wrong because this evidence could have been tampered. It's not like a pure linear, chain of custody. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, Twizzle Stick saying Angel D. Scott is in Robert's chat.
I know. I don't want to take away from your chat. I didn't want. But Scott was asking about my.
Oh no, it's okay.
My special channel.
I was gonna say, if Twizzle Stick wants to come over to my side, if he wants to come up for the last 30 minutes of the live stream, he can. So he can give his thoughts and opinions on what we've been discussing. Okay.
Don't scare Twiz away. Twiz, don't feel any pressure. But yes, come up if you want to.
Scott says, I'm back. I'm back, LOL. I was just subscribing.
Angel D goes on panel too, right?
Yeah, if she was wanting to come, come up, but she needs to come to my side so I can drop the link.
You have to go to this side. Angel D should come up. She's solid gold on panel. You should have her on sometime.
Now, she's solid gold like the solid gold dancers, or like the.
No, why I said it like that. It's so corny. Sorry, Angel. I'll come up with him. I've had a long day of live streaming. Everyone knows this. Well, no, like a small group of people. You want to come up on panel? She's shy. LOL. I know you have a lot to say about the case, and I don't know. Did you drop her a link?
I'm waiting for her to come on this side. She's on your side.
Oh my gosh, you have to come to Robert's channel. It's like a Robert. Oh, why? Because you can't drop a link in there?
I have my little boy with me, so I can't.
Oh. Oh well.
Twiz, come on down.
I have to go into YouTube. I want to go into my chat really quickly, and I'll go up here. I want to do something really quickly. Let me find Twiz. What do I have Twiz? There you are. That was weird.
Angel D says, I used to say I only go on panel for I used to say I only go on panel for Dinky, but
it's just for Capri channel. I've made a couple new mods. I've got you guys. If you're mad, you can tell me.
Mark and Betty says, I don't see Twiz.
Scott, where's Scott?
He's on he's on my side and your side.
That's what I was thought.
Okay. Here's the judge. Conclusions of law. The Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution protects the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizures. In seeking suppression of evidence based on a warrantless search, a defendant bears the evidentiary burden to show that he had a legitimate expectation of privacy in the item or place searched. This involves a two-party inquiry. One, did the defendant have a subjective expectation of privacy in the object of the challenge search? And two, is society willing to recognize the expectation as reasonable? The former is a question of fact, the latter is a question of law. When a defendant makes such a showing, the burden will shift to the state to show an expectation to the warrant requirement exists or that the search was reasonably under the circumstances. It says C State versus Rebo. Here, defendant challenges three allegedly unlawful DNA-related searches. One, the development of the SMP profile for Q1.1 double.2. Two, the trash pull from the Koberger residence and subsequent DNA testing thereon. And three, the search of the commercial genetic databases using the SMP profile. He seeks to suppress not only the genetic information obtained by law enforcement, but also but all other evidence obtained as a result of the alleged illegality. In response, the state argues defendant has not met his threshold burden of demonstrating that the constitutional violation occurred. With regard to any of the three searches, the state is correct. Yeah. So he is siding with the state right there.
So I think what struck me when you were reading that is it said that the three different arguments that they brought up for DNA are all three very unique arguments. They're not related to each other in any way. It sounds like the first one, so out of them we have the trash pool is an argument, and I think that's going to boil down to curtilage or chain of custody. Then the IgG itself is another issue, which is I think they're going to claim that it wasn't on the up and up, either with the chain of custody or with the actual lab that was performing the work, because we know the FBI took it over, and I have strong feelings. I mean, it's not just the data profile that wasn't turned over. It was also, they didn't give the lab protocols, and they didn't give a couple other things. And also, Jeff H., after I read that comment out loud about the vacuum, you left. And I hope I didn't sound like a bitch and I made you leave. Please leave a comment to let us know I didn't piss
Twiz,
Jeff off.
come to my side. Come to the dark side. But no, he left. I think he left one other comment.
Oh, good.
Like right after that. Let me find it.
Good. I know. Okay. All right.
Okay. He did say vacuum type object is hard to understand fully. My mind goes to vacuum attachment. Maybe you saw my community post of a picture I took of K-bar next to a vacuum attachment.
Jeff, I think I showed it on the live stream earlier because Nina sent one to me in Discord, and I showed it up. And it's funny you said that because Robert, you brought out that vacuum attachment and showed it in my last live stream too.
Yeah. Jeff says, "Oh no, I'm still here. We're all good, Kiki."
Good. Jeff, we've been through so much.
Too Fast, Too Pleased is playing Marco Polo with himself.
Yeah, it's because we need to.
He said Marco, and he said Polo, and Angel D is going Polo. Mr. Girl. For some reason, my internet was acting up. Just on this channel. I think she's talking about yours.
Yeah,
Mr.
she's
Mr.
not
Girl said
great.
reason.
I don't know. I've had such glitchy everything all day. Like the live stream we did earlier, it's awful. It's like completely frozen. You can't like see anything. I've heard
Jeff H. I've heard way worse directed at me than you could ever say, Kiki. You're always nice. Twiz, no comment.
Thanks, Jeff. Chef, it's nice to have the ability to have someone like, I do like debating people. I like having a challenge. Okay. I mean, can we take a look at the audio tapes? I mean, the transcript?
Yeah, send it over.
Okay. Here, I'll just pull it up.
Okay.
Come on. Ooh, Tell It to Elle has a new video. I had them right here. Meg P had just put them in my research tab. Hold on. It was either Meg P.
Scott says, "Who doesn't like a challenge?"
There it is. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna share my. It's 170. I mean, if I control this, I'm really good at like finding information. Hold on.
Angel D says, "OMG, I've been called a sock cooker and a complete cooking fun and in another channel on another channel before."
I don't like know why.
Kiki says, "Shite." I introduced this shite. I better delete that before Kiki pins it.
All right, let me share my screen with you guys. So this is a 175-page document.
Wow.
I know. 175. Yeah, 175-page document. And let me get to my side. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. And I'm going to first look for a table of contents. This is my first time looking at this. So I'm just going to read out loud the title of this. So in the district court in the fort, well, anyway, I'm going to read that part. Transcript of the redacted proceedings before the Honorable Judge Stephen Hippler from January 23rd, 2025 at 9 a.m. All right. Let me just look what we got here. First, we have Brett Payne, the Raylene Nolan, the Matthew Gamet, Daniel Helwig, Leah Larkin. All right. I mean, this is big lettering, you guys. I feel like if we wanted to, we could probably get through this. But I don't know. It's reading a transcript, Robert, too. Wait, I should not have read it out loud. What do you guys think? Would you guys like to dive into this transcript a little bit? Or would you like us to do a little bit of research on it? What are your feelings, Robert? I kind of like am curious to read this out loud.
I mean,
we don't.
I was gonna say send it over to my Discord DM, and you and I can dive in it, like dissect it together. But we only got like 15 minutes left on the live, Kiki.
All right. So maybe we should shouldn't force a new subject.
Angel D says, "Fudge, I'm causing havoc."
I know. I kind of want to dive into this, but if we only have 15 minutes left, we probably can't. So
I'm trying to get Twiz on my side so he can come up on panel for the last 15 minutes. But
by the way, David, it's nice to see you here too.
Hey, David.
What's 2 pages? I'm gonna go back and look.
There's Twiz. Hold on, link going down for you, Twiz.
Oh, wait, I've never been mean to you. Who are you talking to, Angel? Fudge. Mhm. All right, it's probably time for me to go to bed.
Hold on. Link going down for Twiz for the last 15
Is
minutes.
Twiz really coming up on stage?
There you go, Twiz. There's the link. You get the last 15 minutes.
So, how was your family day? Did you bring your wife out for her
Yes, I took her out for her belated Valentine's lunch. We went to Cactus Cantina,
Did she get her
and
nachos and homemade salsa?
yeah, she got her nachos and the homemade. She got her appetizer of uh not tortilla chips and homemade salsa. And then she had the three cheese and I think it was enchilada or empanada or whatever it was. And I had this big freaking platter of it was three smothered burritos, uh, three street tacos, and then Caitlin, all she wanted was just the chip and the dip, and she got like two cheese burritos.
I was gonna say you should get her that Mexican pizza I was telling you about.
Oh, I did.
You did? What'd she think?
Um,
It's
she
kind of a
didn't.
big
She,
girl
she didn't
food.
like. She didn't like the taste of the beans.
Mm, I thought she would. I thought because it was shaped like a pizza, she'd be into it.
No. So yeah, she goes, Daddy, I don't like the. She goes, I like refried beans, Daddy, but these taste weird. She's like, can you just get me one without beans and just cheese and lettuce and stuff? I'm like, okay. So I ended up eating the tostada, and she ate just a regular tostada, just plain cheese and lettuce, and she can't have tomatoes because she's allergic to tomatoes like her daddy is. So yeah, it was just like straight cheese and lettuce and sour cream.
That sounds delicious, actually. Can I just ask you guys a question? Like my mother did this, she taught it to me, and now I have this habit. Tell me if anyone else does this. I put pickles in my tacos sometimes. Does anybody else do that?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
Even though my daughter does throw a fit because McDonald's will only put one pickle on their cheeseburger.
They won't put an extra pickle on?
Extra pickles cost extra money.
Really? You think they put an
Yeah.
extra pickle on? Hold
Hey,
on.
Meanie.
Tonka says but you'll try what now? Oh, you're gonna try the pickles inside. It's so good. It's like the perfect because it's like got a little tang to it. It's like
Well,
the perfect complement to like the really like strong taco flavor.
Angel D says, "OMG, Scott! I just said I want chicken tikka masala for dinner."
Chicken tikka masala. I remember you saying that earlier. I love chicken masala. I don't.
Scott
I mean,
says, "Angel D 100 best on
love it.
toast."
What?
He says, "Angel D 100 best on toast."
Coach, just tell me, what do you eat in your tacos?
Who, me?
Tell me. I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, I can't. Yeah, my daughter loves sour cream. My wife loves sour cream. I cannot stand sour cream. But well, like today, the smothered burritos and the street tacos I had, they had jalapenos in them.
I don't do jalapenos in my tacos.
Oh, I love jalapenos. My wife can testify. I love jalapenos. And Uh,
I do like jalapenos. I just don't like them in my tacos.
Now, see what I do sometimes is I'll buy the whole jalapenos, and I'll cut them in half, like long ways in half. Take the seeds out, put cream cheese in them, and then I'll wrap them in bacon.
You know what's really good? If you
Hmm.
guys have never tried it, jalapeno jelly. It's
Ugh.
like really good with like if you put jalapeno, not like on like a bagel or something, but like jalapeno jelly and like cream cheese, and then you can like dip a cracker in it. It's such a great like easy dip for entertaining people. But Robert, there were some like incredible comments in the comment section regarding the Idaho 4. I don't know if you're reading the comments.
Yeah, I'm reading a few of them. Jeff H said, "Oops, that was defense claim. No mention that the FBI was mainly looking at the window configuration." Um,
Oh, rude.
Angel D says, "I miss all Atlantic seafood, Scotty. I really would move back to Scotland for the seafood." And then Too Fast says, "Fish tacos, shrimp, shredded
Mm.
beef, shredded chicken, black bean, duck tacos. They are all good."
That's true. I've never even thought of a duck taco, but the fish tacos, I love those. There's a restaurant here called the Red Nun in the city that I live in, and it's one of my favorite places to get certain foods. They make truffle fries. But anyway, they
Uh,
have the best fish tacos in my entire fishing town. They're so good. I love eating them. And then wait, what jalapeno
Too,
jelly is great. See?
okay. Meanie says, "I make jalapeno cheddar bread. That's so good. I might be my favorite bread. It might be my favorite bread right now."
There's two types of Brazilian cheese bread, and there's this one bread. Like I go to the Brazilian steakhouse and they bring out several kinds of bread, but there's this one cheese bread that's different than the other cheese bread. If anybody knows the name of it, I'll say it in the chat. And when you like, it's like almost like it's like the almost the texture of like a little bit thicker than Alfredo sauce when you break
Yeah,
open like the rolls. And it's so good, but they call it cheesy bread, but they call everything cheesy bread. So I don't
yeah.
know, I
Angel
can't
D
get the
said,
right stuff at the store.
"Yeah." Angel D said, "But it was a proper Mexican restaurant, and it was full jalapenos with cream fridge dip." And Scott Metalhead says, "Angel D, I love seafood too, especially mussels. Oh God, I love mussels too, Scott. Um, yeah, like this Chinese all you can eat restaurant we go to, they have mussels, and like I love mussels. I even get the mussels that are dipped in like the hot sauce. Yeah, yeah. My fridge, Kiki, is is full of three different types of hot sauce, and
I got
one is a steak marinade, and it's a spicy steak marinade slash dip. So yeah,
I like
you got like literally pour it in like in a little dip bowl, and dip your chips or whatever in it. It's so good. Um, a friend of
what
mine,
brand is it?
a friend of mine, Corey, um, he had bought it for me for Christmas. Yeah, he had bought it for me for Christmas a couple of years ago, and it was a big bottle, and I still got it, and I'm still using it 2 years later.
It must be pretty strong.
Yeah,
What's
it
so you
is.
said,
Yeah, huh?
so you said you had three different types of hot sauce because I'm
Hmm.
dying to tell you guys about this new hot sauce.
One of the hot sauces, one of the hot sauces I do have is I have that steak marinade. I have Tabasco sauce, and I have Frank's Red Hot in a big old bottle. And I kind of felt sorry for my wife. She went to yeah, she got hungry again after we got home a few hours later. So I went to McDonald's and got her something, and she, she thought it was ketchup, and she went to dip her fries in it.
And
And
what was it?
and the look on her face was priceless.
Oh,
She
you
she had
put that.
yeah, and she looks at me. She goes, "Honey," she goes, "Did I grab ketchup?" I'm like, "No. What did I grab?" So so I saw it still sitting on the counter. I walked in there, showed it to her. I said, "You grabbed my Frank's Red Hot." And she goes, "Oh God, my mouth's burning, my mouth's burning, my mouth's burning." Okay, Jeff. The 1112 video did not show enough of the vehicle that you could see whatever it had a front license plate. Is that right? A that sound it a that sounds correct. Yes, I sure thought that camera would see that. Hey, Leslie and Billy.
Now that's an interesting quote because on the 1112 camera, allegedly that's where the 3-point turn is seen. So that is the one turn where you think there could be a glimpse at a license plate. But on the contrary, that has to be true because if they had a license plate, they wouldn't have had this perplexing investigative manhunt for 6 weeks.
Yeah,
I forgot what I
I
was going
still
to say. I
say
was
that.
going to say back to hot sauce.
I still, huh?
Sorry. No, go on.
I still say that. Yeah, they should at least brought him in for questioning in that 6 weeks.
Jeff, was that quote that you just put up, was that from the Franks motion? I mean, was that from the which document was this from? The Franks denial? Was it from Ann Taylor's declaration? That's an interesting quote. I'd like to look at it more. I have a similar quote because Miss Pottage was helping me find some stuff earlier.
Leslie and Billy says, Robert and Swamp, I swear it. We have another Ozark in the making.
The Ozarks. Oh my gosh, that show. I really did like that.
Jeff
show
says
a lot.
page 27 of the transcript.
Of the transcript. Okay. Earlier we were looking at yeah, anyway.
Anyway.
I can bring up more points if you want, Robert. I don't know. But I just feel like we should turn to the chat really quickly because we want to get to
that's what I'm doing.
comments before we leave.
Have you tried spicy ketchup yet, Robert? You might like it. I get ghost pepper ketchup by Cleveland Ketchup. It'll clear your sinuses. Yeah, I've tried ghost pepper ketchup, and it was so burning hot in my mouth. I went and down to half a gallon of milk. Like legit. I went in and grabbed one of our half gallons of milk and stood there and chugged it until the burning sensation went away.
So
but I do love the when Wendy's gets them, the ghost pepper fries.
Where do you get them?
Wendy's.
My dog is pissed at me. Wendy's, really?
Yep.
Back in the day, I'm just going to talk about fast food for a second. I miss fast food. I haven't had it in so long. I mean, it's not like I really was a big fast food person to begin with, but I don't even have the choice. Like, if I want to go get French fries, I really couldn't. But like years and years ago, I remember I was so upset. Like, I think it was in my 20s when this happened. And I loved going to Burger King, and I would first off, I'd always get the Morningstar veggie burgers there with cheese. They were like my favorite thing. And I get the Burger King French fries. And then one day they got rid of Morningstar when Beyond Burger came out, and I can't stand those. And so now they serve Beyond Burgers. So I don't even go there anymore. But the most devastating thing was Burger King had these like incredible French fries. They were like I would drive 20 minutes just to get these stupid French fries. They had like almost like they were like beer battered or something. And then they had this big campaign and told us they were like making special fries that were like looked like they were homemade. So like then they started selling these like fair. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? But Burger King changed their fries back in the day. It was awful because they had like the best fries ever. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. I'm turning off my camera.
Well, I do. My wife was just talking to me for a minute, so I muted my mic.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about? I knew Robert would come
Yeah.
through for me. This one. Okay, so I'm going
Yeah.
back to the chat. So
I'm going back. I'm going back to the chat. Okay.
all right. Best to cook your own, no chemicals and the seed oils. David Bird made that comment about the seed oils. I've been having this conversation over and over again in my house because honestly, like if you're going to just go all the oils we cook with, we have to do a better job of like paying attention to the temperature we cook our food at, because the burning points of oils truly change the health benefits of certain foods, or they can even make it like I don't want to go so far as to say carcinogenic, but you know what I mean? Like, so what David's saying about the seed oils is so important, because if you are going to use the seed oils, cooking them past another temperature can be really dangerous, like really unhealthy for you. Even olive oil, but it has like a really high like burn rate. So does coconut oil. But does
Okay.
anybody know what I'm
Jeff
talking
H
about?
says Hitler. Jeff H says Hitler. I suspect the trash pulls is going to be admissible at trial, and the genetic genealogy match allegedly to Mr. Koberger's father, as I understand it, page 166 of the transcript, will be admissible at trial.
Respect the trash was good. So if we go up, hold on, there was a comment by Tonka that I saw.
Okay, and Rodriguez, real quick, says, but all we got was that 4:17 a.m. Ta-dunk, ta-dunk.
Hold on. Jack Johnstone, I just am looking up at a comment Jack Johnstone made at 11:08. He says, Lady Fairweather has issued an online petition that has over 34,000 signatures for a FOIA about Buddy the dog a few miles away. And a few weeks earlier, 10/21/22, worthy of support. Absolutely. Like, I'm surprised we don't know more information on Buddy, because I thought that we were told from very early on that it wasn't related to this. So it's interesting that somebody's putting a FOIA request out, because you would think that has nothing to do with the case. That shouldn't be sealed, or you know what I mean? Like, you'd think that and all that information would be out there.
No, Angel D. Twist didn't go to the other side. I think he broke on through to the other side.
You scared him away. I knew you were gonna.
No, Twist is back. He goes, Did you all see how it said defendants at the start of the document?
No, what document? Twiz. Oh, and Thomas's weakness is French food. Oh my god. It's like heaven.
Okay. Meaning authorities tell us a lot of things that aren't exactly true. And I do agree with Tonka.
And apparently they're allowed to mislead us during the investigation portion. It's practice.
It says, Jeff H says defendants at top of transcript. And then, Twizzy. Yeah. And then Twiz Gang says, maybe it's misspelling, maybe it's not. And yeah, Jeff H says defendants at top of transcript. Right there. In contrast, on defendant's motion for Frank's hearing says defendant, singular.
Oh, so it has like a contradiction. I'm actually pulling up the transcript now. Of course, I took it down.
Now I've got that Enrique Iglesias song stuck in my head.
Which Enrique Iglesias song? Bailamos. Bailamos. Mm. That's a good
No, I like
song.
his. Well, I like his song. I need a hero.
I like that song too. I wonder how it's like Anna
No, I
Kournikovich
can.
is
No,
his
no,
Anna
where he says I
Kournikovich.
can be your hero. Look.
Oh,
Jeff H says looks like a typo. Meanie says I think it. I think it's a typo personally. Maybe, but maybe it's not. Angel D says with the ping pong sound effect at the start. Okay. Okay. Thomas says, absolutely amazing that SCOTUS decided that law enforcement is allowed to lie when seeking the truth during an investigation.
SCOTUS made that decision. I'll have to look into that. I haven't heard that one. Robert has been doing a good job, though, really like giving a counter voice to the administration. And I do like seeing discourse, like even though I might not agree with Robert's political opinions
Oh,
all the time.
I got something for our podcast Sunday if you're interested.
You do.
Yeah,
Okay. I
I'll
I'll
tell
be
you
back.
backstage about it.
Hold on.
It says, do you know what it feels like loving someone who, I guess, and then
Wait, hold on.
Twiz
What
says,
song was this? Do you know? I
I
don't
don't know
know
very
what
many Enrique Iglesias songs. I just know I want to be your hero, or I could be your hero. Um, uh, Twizzlestick says that's why when cops ask you questions, you say, "I don't answer questions." Jeff H. One thing that seems clear: there's still much that we don't know, and much that defense and prosecution do know. The trial will reveal and explain so much, hopefully. And Meany says SCOTUS also ruled that police don't have a duty to protect us. Oh, I didn't know that. And
Wow.
Mouse is
I
here.
mean, guys, you two are giving us something for our podcast on Sunday. Thank you. We'll definitely look into both of those things on SCOTUS.
Mouse says, "Hey, I'm awake."
Oh, hey, Mouse. Thanks for joining us. Mouse had a long day
And Thomas says,
of
"I love
helping
politics."
teenagers with homework and helping family and driving around. Oh, too fast.
Too
I haven't
fast.
seen that picture. Okay.
I changed my picture for you, Angel D, to remind you that I'm not a I'm not a granny again. Okay,
Good.
let's go ahead and end this live stream, Kiki. It's been an awesome live stream. It really has.
I had a
I mean,
really good time. Thank you for having me on.
you're welcome.
I appreciate you putting this podcast together, and I did learn a lot. I just want to take a minute to thank the chat because honestly, like
Yeah.
the comments were so amazing. We did not get to all the comments. I was reading them at the top. Like a lot of if we didn't get to your comment, please know that I was still reading it and I'm learning
Yep.
from it. Thank you for the energy.
Yeah. Well, and Rodriguez, like there's something that is covered and is not known because they don't want it uncovered. This video could be something and debunked it, but it's in the affidavit. And the last comment for the night comes from Jeff H. Yeah, at the at that point in time, we have already received Mr. BK's name, and from what my understanding was, entering another a DNA profile into CODIS would remove the previous one we had from the knife sheath.
Well, I thought, okay, so I just have a couple questions. So doesn't like the upload to CODIS stay forever? Isn't that the problem with the
That's the
CODIS?
thing. That's the last thing I knew is stayed forever.
And
Oh,
then the other
and
thing is, didn't they upload all of them to CODIS? And that's why Becca Barlow was like, I want the profiles for my discovery, because she could see they had been uploaded to CODIS. And it was the actual data she wanted, but she couldn't get. That was the problem, right?
yeah,
With Becca Barlow's declaration. And that's how they knew to ask for them. And I mean, I would imagine the defense has a workup on these profiles now, but I don't know.
okay, and R.I.P. Golf Inspector General.
Rest in peace, Seeley. And also our thoughts with Tommy. I bet we might hear a post or something. I hope we hear a post or something from him soon, letting us know that he's doing okay.
He was live earlier.
Tommy was live earlier. Okay.
Yeah,
And
he played a golf inspector video.
he did.
Yeah. So Jeff H says, so if memory serves, the discussion was, we'll hold off. We'll stay with the one from the knife sheath. If we need to, we can address the unknown male B at a later time.
The discussion was to hold off. I don't understand why holding off though. Like, so here's my take on it is like, it seems like not only was there time was of the essence, but it doesn't make any sense to not find out who else might be involved in a crime of this magnitude, because the type of person that is capable of doing a crime like this is, it's not somebody that we can have walking in our society. Just the point that somebody could escalate to doing a crime like this means that they're not going to stop offending. Yeah. And so just the thought that there'd be another unknown person involved in this crime, like the huge, I keep saying public safety issue, but that's what it is. I mean, if Brian is the perpetrator and he never was apprehended, people don't stop, or whoever is the perpetrator of this crime, they're not going to stop. There's going to be other unalivings. And with 50% of the homicides in the US never getting solved, and now we know a lot of these crimes have unknown DNA, and nobody ever does a genetic workup on the DNA. So not only do we have 50% of homicides not getting solved, we have literally DNA samples out there that could probably make a match that we don't research now, that we found out from this case so many DNA samples. But I don't know when do they decide? When is there why would you ever hold off? And especially knowing they didn't have a match until the 19th, why would they hold off when they didn't have a match? Why would they still hold off on the unknown? It just makes me think they knew his name beforehand. With everything, with the U-Haul on the 7th, with the CVS on the 16th, with the 4chan post stating something about Pocono Pines, Pennsylvania, clearly coming from somebody in LE. Like, I feel like they had his name before then, and there's just...
Yeah, I really feel like some of the 4chan posts were law enforcement.
I do too.
Oh, and we cannot forget Jeff's last comment. DNA on the sheath is probable cause every day and twice on Sunday. Judge Hip.
Except when it's not part of the probable cause. Right?
Yeah. Tonka says, I'm sure they knew his name long before he left for long before he ever left for Pennsylvania.
Heather said a comment about page 83. What were we talking about?
The transcripts? No, she's talking to Jeff H. Jeff H. Page 83. And then she says thrice on Thursday.
Fast changed his profile pic back.
Okay.
All right.
Except when it's red DNA male E on the sheath.
Can you bring up
back and forth? But we're gonna have a back and forth between Heather and Jeff and Meanie and Jeff.
Except when it's red DNA male on a sheath. Can you imagine if there was unknown male DNA on a sheath? Okay, you'd think hair, fibers, semen, and blood from other suspects would count every day, twice on Sunday too. Guess not. They were suspect enough to upload to CODIS. You know, like
I feel like I feel yeah. I feel at least solved the crime, but BK can rest assured there's many in the YouTube community working to help uh, Ann out best they can.
Jeff, but where, like, I understand, like, if you're generally making that argument, but where specifically, like, it's almost like not to like I'm not trying to insult you, but it's almost like evading the subject. Like, the subject is, well, what about the other, putting BK aside, this is a separate subject. This is other people in the house. Because if they were to say find other alternative suspects, other matches to that DNA, the story changes. The whole picture changes. Everything changes. And the possibility of somebody else having their hands on that crime scene changes everything about what we think about the sheath. So just for the process of eliminating these people from the case, I just don't understand how they, any day, trace on Sunday, you wouldn't identify the other unknown DNA that were suspect in such a horrific quadruple homicide, because they were suspect. They were uploaded to CODIS, so they met the CODIS criteria.
Yeah, Angel D says, "I'm not changing chats again."
What did you leave my chat, Angel?
No, she's on your side now. She just said, "I'm not changing chats again." And here's another rebuttal from Jeff. My opinions mean nothing compared to the answers that will come from defense and prosecution. For me to explain is way above my pay grade. Trust me, it's way above ours. And Twizzlestick says ping pong.
Good point.
All right.
Good point, because Twiz brings up the biggest thing, which is putting everything aside, putting all these other arguments. At the end of the day, if they show Brian is in another place with his vehicle, that's kind of the same thing as an alibi.
Yeah.
Right? And Cy Ray, and even in the documents, we see that it appears that Brian is going the opposite direction that prosecutors are stating. It's going to be an epic testimony on the stand when expert witness Cy Ray gets up there. Because all these other things aside, you have to explain that. You have to explain how he wasn't there, and then all this evidence. It's going to be really interesting.
Yes, and Twizzlesticks says, I'm not pulling it up on screen, but Twizzlesticks says, there's a 4-letter word in there. AT doesn't give a F what we say. Except I'm not going to spell the entire word out.
Can you pull up Angel D's picture so I can see her profile pic? She changed it. I'm just making sure it's not Harry Styles.
Heather says, am I speaking another language?
Well, you have to bring her comments up.
Right there.
No, the next one. No, at 11:22.
Okay, the StreamYard chat's behind the other chat.
What? Oh.
Angel D says, OMG, I'd never. Heather Fitzgerald says, Anne Franks. Jeff H says, at Heather, are you sure they're not discussing principles from the biology manual? I see the beginning of that convo on page 82 going into 83.
Can you pull up it, Robert? Can you pull up the convo?
No, I can't pull up the convo because I don't have the transcript.
I have the transcript right here. Okay, what page was 83?
82 and 83.
All right, let's look.
Meanie, you may as well be speaking another language because the ones you're speaking to is incapable of understanding what you're saying. At Heather Fitzgerald. Jeff, pull up page 83.
Let me take this into my own hands.
Okay, Jeff H. Ms. Taylor.
You have
what
to
am
share with me.
okay, hold on. Jeff H. What I'm Ms. Taylor, what I'm showing her are a couple of pages out of the biology manual for the Idaho State Police Forensics Lab that is available online, page 82.
I have.
Angel
Well, okay,
Angel D says, I love Harry.
So we're not talking about page 82 of the
No, I guess and he's talking about the biology manual.
This says their own quality manual. Here it is. Okay, let me read to you. The question was, but you could have looked at it and said it's not excluded. Answer. That would be an indication that it's possible. And we would have provided a statistic for that. And we have, so our biology section, you may be looking at our analytical methods. Biological section has their own quality manual for further discussion on this. Miss Taylor, Your Honor, if I can have her show this document to see if we can refresh her memory, the court. For the record, identify what you're showing to her. AT, what I'm showing her are a couple of pages of biological manual for the Idaho State. Hold on, I gotta take my gum out. Let me just turn off my camera. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. What I'm showing her are a couple pages of the biological manual for the Idaho State Police Forensics Lab that is available online. Question. So, Miss Nolan, if you look at the very bottom one, this is the one I'm having trouble squaring with your testimony. If that refreshes your recollection or helps me understand. Answer. So what this is talking about is it may be beneficial to make qualifying statements about evidence-to-evidence comparisons. However, there is another section of our biological quality manual that specifically states that if it's probable comparison and statistical, it must be provided. But what this is saying, so for instance, if you're, let me pull this up. If you're in one room in a scene and there's multiple swabs that are tested, you can say that these are consistent or these appear to be from the same unknown individual. Now, if I am going to say these are from John Doe, I have to provide statistics for each item and do a comparison of each item. Did I hear you say you could compare if they're probable? Answer. If it's, which that wouldn't be in your mind, a probable comparison. We have multiple items of evidence in the same room in a scene. We can say they appeared to be consistent with the same unknown individual. That's not making any statement about who the individual might be. My computer's not working. And that is a probable comparison, and I need to provide a statistic. Question. Before I make the comparison where maybe you write the exclusion, you don't know if it's excluded or included, though. Is that right? I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Yeah. Let me try to explain what I am getting at. I'm understanding that with 95.9.1 couldn't have been manually looked at to do a manual comparison to the sheath DNA just to say excluded or not. When male E was compared to multiple items of evidence and it was excluded. But you don't know that until you do the comparison. Is that right? Correct. So you can look at that manual, but if we're now making probable statements when we need to provide statistics, and male E is also a single source, which is different than a mixture of DNA from people. This is interesting. So that's a single source DNA. All right. I don't need to think I have any other questions. Thank you. Maybe I can have those pages back. Or thank you. I mean, do you guys want me to go on? Do you want me to go on to Matthew Gammy? He's the employee of the Idaho State Police Forensics Lab. I don't know what you guys are thinking as I'm reading. I don't know if we lost Rob.
I'm just watching the chat. I'm seeing Jeff go back and forth with Meanie and with Mark and Betty and with Heather. And
do you guys want me to go to a different page?
Okay. Jeff H. Mark and Betty, I wish I got a quarter every time you mentioned the shower curtain weirdly missing from BK's apartment. Heather, Jeff O69, they are talking about the sheath. She is asking why the lab did not look at the two male A compared to male E. Heather Fitzgerald, you'll find that loophole. Don't give up. Anne's counting on you. Kind of snarky right there. Leslie and Billy, you all be nice. I swear, it's another Ozark episode or another Ozark series.
The Ozarks is like the only thing that could explain, like the only storyline that could explain something that isn't. It's like this is just a crazy.
Tonka says, "I know it's like anything that occurred in Judge's courtroom ceased to exist once it was moved to Boise at Thomas. It's almost like Hitler didn't do all of his homework." And then Jeff says, "This back and forth is more fun than a video game." Heather, page 64 specifically clarified where and where A&E profiles are from.
All right, let's go to the page.
I don't have a shower curtain either. It's a glass door. I say let's go ahead and end this live stream.
I was going to bring up page 64.
Because yeah, I hate to say it. I think Jeff's gonna get murdered in our chat.
Jeff knows what to do. He just bails.
Jeff H, was good to finally hear which handrail it was. But yeah, we've been live for almost 2 hours and 30 minutes, and my little one keeps beckoning me. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream. Stick around after the live, and I want to discuss something about our political podcast on Sunday. And everyone in chat, Twizzlestick, Meanie, Jeff H, Thomas, Jack Johnstone, Angel D, Heather Fitzgerald, Leslie and Billy, Too Fast, Anna.
We had Bria earlier. I remember.
Yeah, Bria.
Tonka. Mouse.
Did I get Leslie and Billy or did I get Mark and Betty? Meanie.
I didn't see Leslie and Billy tonight.
Yeah, no, they're in the chat. They're in the chat right now on my side.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, there. I see you right there. I'm sorry, Leslie and Billy. Good to see you.
And Mouse. We love all you guys. You guys are our top mods on. Yeah, Miss Your Girl. You guys are top mods on my channel and Kiki's new channel.
Scott.
Scott Metalhead just got a wrench tonight on my channel. So did Angel D, and yeah, her comment to that was, "Oh God, not another wrench."
Angel D, you are becoming a professional mod on YouTube. Don't you steal Angel D from me. She's my. Well, you're my. I was going to say you're one of my managing mods too. All right.
Yeah, Angel D's exact comment when I made her mod. "Oh God, not another wrench."
It's a lot of responsibility. Just joking. I'm just joking, and I just want to say we do
And
appreciate your time.
yes, we do.
Aside
Angel
from,
D says I belong to Kiki. No, you belong to me too. We're sharing Angel D, aren't we, Kiki?
nope, near. Um. Okay. Oh, I can't control her. We can share her, I guess. But I just want to say, on a serious note, like we always thank the mods. We always thank you for your energy. But
Oh,
what
here's AR. He's in chat.
But what I'd really like to say is I appreciate your time. You know, we know you're people, we know you have families at home, we know you have a lot of time. So when you give time to our chat, when you keep it clean, when you give us questions, when you give us your insights, like we just really appreciate that too. So I know I said it earlier, but I wanted to say it again. And everyone in the chat, not just our mods keeping it clean, anyone who wants to participate in the live chat, we just really appreciate it. It makes the live stream. So
Oh, he came in on your side.
Oh, yeah. Right. Capri is like having a very successful live stream tonight for
Yeah.
my side. And Robert, this was great. Thank you for having me on panel. I'm so happy to come on YouTube and see your audience again. Thank you to Robert's audience for having me on. And I love seeing you all. And I can't wait to hear
Okay.
your comments in the replay crew.
Oh yeah, and I just checked my analytics, and we are doing good as far as views goes in the analytics. So
On this live stream, that's great.
yep.
Wait, you
Yep.
only have one leg of the capris? Wait, you're only one leg of the capris. I don't know what that means.
Brother, if you're still in chat, if you want to come up for like 30 minutes, I left the link in your Discord DM if you want to come up.
I was going to read page 64.
Heather says, Potamus likes his puppy cuppies. Tinker actually got today from Starbucks a pup cup.
Yeah, I just found out they had those. I just found that they had those at Starbucks when you told me that the other day. One-legged capris. Capri. Oh.
Yeah, AR says, I'm sitting out, but thank you. Well, I love you, brother. Island of Capri. Well, let's go ahead and end this, Kiki. We had a really awesome live stream
Staying live
tonight.
for another 30 minutes.
That was if AR wanted to come up.
Only
he's our partner in crime.
Like Capri could be an island. It could also be a car. A Capri is
Come
spelled
on,
like
AR.
the pants are spelled with an S. Is that what it is?
Angel D says burn.
So are we going to keep going? I mean, do you want me to read that in the transcript?
No, we're going to go ahead and end it because I've got a 9.5-year-old standing at her bedroom door, looking at me, doing her little finger like, come here. So I gotta go pay attention to the little one. Yeah.
I'll be back.
I'll be back to YouTube in April.
Okay.
So are you taking a break, brother?
You'll be receiving a text message from Kiki Capri Swamp Rose.
AR Convicts. Twizzle Stick. AR Convicts thoughts. Way to kill the fun, AR.
I know. AR, I mean, you should know from the response.
Twizzle Stick says April.
Don't say okay, sir, to him. AR, you should know from the response last night.
No, he said, you okay, sir?
Yeah, that's what we want to know. Because here's the thing, is anyone who watched AR's live last night knows that his audience was so excited and so
Yeah.
energetic to see him live. That chat was on fire. And what's nice about AR's chat is it's so clean and like it's just a great chat, really positive. And I don't know, I just want you to know that AR, that obviously people were pretty excited to have you back.
He says, "LOL, everyone shot their pants, haha."
Yeah, well, you know.
Meanie says that was a great live last night, and it was. It was.
It was.
We all three had an awesome live, and just like you and I had an awesome live tonight as well.
It's clean.
It's clean, yeah. 'Cause I better stay out then.
Well, yeah. There's been some controversy, but we, for the most part, keep it clean.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to stay live? You want to end this live stream?
Yeah, because my daughters gave me the puppy dog look now with the bottom lips, with the bottom lip out and batting her eyes.
Well, Caitlin, I hope you have a great night, and we will let you get back to your daddy.
Yeah, and she told me she's changed her mind again. What she wants for her birthday. She wants a Nintendo Switch now, and
That's expensive taste. I know that.
well, what she don't know is a friend of mine, not Carl. Thank God, not Carl. A friend of mine actually bought her a Switch for her birthday. It's hot pink.
Oh, you guys, you can't tell me that doesn't make you wicked happy.
Yeah, it's hot pink. It comes with a carry case, and he got her three games to go along with it. She got a Bluey game. She got the annoying Coco Melon game, and she got a SpongeBob game. No, Peppa Pig game.
I like that you got the hot pink. She's gonna love that. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah. So those are the three games that she's getting. It's Peppa Pig against the world or versus the world or something like that. And yeah, the Coco Melon game, she's gonna drive me nuts with it. And just like my sister-in-law bought her for Christmas, she bought her 2 Coco Melon dolls, and they talk and they drive me nuts. Like she plays. One has like a little teddy bear in pajamas, and every night when she goes to bed, I hear from her room, bed, time to go to bed. Yes. That drives me nuts.
I just like the name Coco Melon. One of my favorite stores is called Coco Plum. It's just a funny name. I like that.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming tonight and chatting. And Mouse says, "LOL, I have all boys." Yeah. Caitlin was almost a boy, because when they were doing the gender through the sonogram, she kept turning on them, showing her butt. Like when they went to find out if she was boy or girl, yeah, she would turn and show her butt. Yeah,
so we didn't plan ahead.
Yeah, we didn't know she was a girl until almost the 8th month when she decided to say, "Okay, now you can see what I am," as she's laying on her back in the sonogram, moving her arms like she's lifting weights.
I think it'd be so different. Like, I'm glad you got a girl. Like, you're a good girl dad.
Yeah. She's my youngest. I've got a 25-year-old. Yeah, I swear, Yeah, I've got a 25-year-old daughter. I've got a 22-year-old daughter, a 20-year-old daughter, and of course my 9-year-old daughter. My son Bobby. I had four girls and one boy, and my son Bobby. He's in a group home because he's like really bad special needs to the point where knowing that I wouldn't be able to take care of him. But he's 20 now. I went and saw him yesterday, and no, actually the day before yesterday because his birthday was on the 18th, and and it's kind
Happy
of weird.
birthday, Bobby.
Yeah, yeah. Bobby's birthday was on the 18th. My oldest birthday was on the 20th. Yeah, and I still can't figure out how I have two kids with birthdays 2 days apart.
Do they have the
Um,
same mom?
no, Bobby's mom passed away back in 2011.
I'm sorry to
So,
hear.
hey, Echoes.
No, I was just wondering if like it was the same mom who like had gave
No,
birth.
different,
Right.
yeah, different mom. Um, no, yeah, different mom. My two oldest are by a different mom too. So I have five kids by three different women.
Does
Well,
Tamara have
actually, no, 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 no. Yeah, I have five kids by three different women. I have a 9 year old by Tamara. I have a 25-year-old, a 25-year-old, a 22-year-old, and a 20-year-old by another woman, and then Bobby by my first wife. Yeah, so yeah, I got around when I was younger. Um, but
how,
no, I love my oldest daughter to death. I really do. She just turned 25 uh, yesterday, and she she's an adult, but she can't figure out how to adult. Yeah, because she still turns to daddy for uh, like yeah. Her glasses broke because she got into a fight. Somebody punched her in the face and broke her glasses. Yeah, this happened down in Arkansas. So she calls me yesterday. Dad, it's my birthday. I'm like, I know. I was getting ready to call you. She goes, Dad. I'm like, yeah. She goes, can I borrow $80? I'm like, for what? She goes, I broke my glasses. I'm like, aren't you working? Weren't you working at like Goodwill? She goes, I quit. I'm like, why'd you quit? She goes, oh, they weren't giving me enough hours. And I'm thinking to myself, here's another job she quit. But I told her, I said, yeah, I said when I get paid next Friday, I said I'll send you $80, but I said that's gonna be your belated birthday money. I'm like, get your glasses, but I said don't ever ask me for money again. And she goes, I know. You want me to get a job. You want me to be successful. You want me to work. I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, stop quitting jobs. And she goes, okay, Dad, love you. I'm like, love you too. Click. But I'll talk to you more about it backstage. I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream. Hey, everyone,
well,
have a good night. Make sure you
about
click that like.
you.
Make sure you click that like button on the way out. Um, oh, what did Jeff say?
No, I just wanted to like get this straight. So you have two boys and a girl that were
No,
all
no,
born in-
no. I have one boy and four girls.
Trisha says she's only 25. It's okay. She can still be kind of a daddy's girl.
Okay. I lost fucking count. I'm getting fucking old. I have Caitlin. I have Charlotta. I have I have Vanessa. I have Shauna. Okay, that's three girls and one boy. So I have four kids. Uh, I'm getting old. So I have a 25-year-old, a 22-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 9-year-old, and and another 20-year-old. So yeah, that's 5 kids. Um, and they're all by different women, 3 different women. My first wife, my second wife, my third wife, and yeah, and I'm hubby number 5 for this one. I joke around with her. I'm like, so are you gonna be like Elizabeth Taylor? And she goes, what do you mean? I'm like, have 8 husbands? And then she
So
just kind of looks at me. She just kind of looks at me and says, um, do you want to lose your life today or tomorrow? I'm like, I don't want to lose my. I'm like, I don't want to lose my life either day. She goes, then she said, then keep talking.
so
Echo said, Robert, stay married. LOL. Just JK.
do you guys? I feel like it's always a divorce always happens like the woman leaves. Is that? I mean, I think in most cases, I don't know. But Robert, this is really interesting. So you're Tamara's 5th husband.
Yep.
I wonder what it was about you.
Because I'm a nice guy and I know how to treat her.
You guys have been together for a long time, so
Yep.
I think that
10
this
years.
is yeah, this is definitely the one. So don't call her Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor didn't have her special.
No, she's the one I call Elizabeth Taylor, and she's the one that told me, "Do I want to die today or tomorrow?" I'm like, neither day. She said, then keep talking.
Oh God, she just said that to you now, Tamara. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to
No,
feed
no. It was it was a few days ago. I was joking around with her. I'm like, hey, honey. I said, you know, you could be Elizabeth. You could be like Elizabeth Taylor. She goes, well, what do you mean? I'm like, um, I'm like, well, I'm your 5th husband, right? She goes, yeah. I said, you just need 3 more to tie with Elizabeth Taylor. And she goes, do you want to die today or tomorrow? I'm like,
Well, yeah, maybe you
uh,
should provide the diamonds if you're gonna do that kind of talk.
yeah. I'm like, neither day. She said, then keep talking.
She
I'm
says,
like,
"I've
yes,
never
honey.
been married
Yeah,
again. I did what
I
I've
told you.
done."
I said, yes, honey. I'll shut up now. She goes, love you.
Stop it. I don't know. Like
But
I've heard, well, I'm not going to say anything about it.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the top. I just think that, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to talk about marriage.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Well, I want to
I
wish everyone a good
the
night in the
top
chat.
does.
Yeah, I want to wish everyone good night in the chat. And yeah, thank you for coming. I hope everyone has a good weekend. My brother AR, if you're still listening, I hope you have a good weekend as well. Echoes of Clarity, thanks for joining us. I always love when you join the chat. Meanie, uh, Heather Fitzgerald, um, yeah, the one that calls me love and all the other chats.
Wait, who calls you love?
Yeah, me and Heather when we're in different chats. Yeah, I'll come in and she'll go, hey love, and I'll be like, hey love, and then she'll do the little heart, the little smiley face with the hearts on the eyes.
You're going to say something nice about everyone. Say something nice about Thomas. Thomas, thank you
Oh,
for
I did say something nice about Thomas and Angel D and and Twiz Gang and of course Jeff H.
What
Uh,
about Too Fast? Did you say something
huh?
nice about Too
Yeah.
Fast? Tell me
Yeah.
that you were sharing his
uh,
recipes with
I
us.
always love when Too Fast comes into chat. I love it when all you guys come into chat. And we actually had a really awesome live stream tonight when we did.
And we have
In my
great life.
analytics, yeah, we're already at 127 views.
Well,
So
I'm so glad it was yeah, it was definitely a success. Thanks for having me on, Robert. I'd love to do it again sometime. And Robert's going to be joining me for a members live this week. So
yep,
if you
I just
remember,
got to figure out what day I want to do it. All right,
yeah.
bye guys.